Whoa, welcome back for some more Bleach Soul Resonance, and I had a little idea for a video. So, we now know that they are planning to do rerun banners. What this means is that whatever we sort of think about the actual standard banner is probably some amount of ways away, which means holding on to these standards tickets for me as a content creator probably isn't the best, use of my time, because instead I could do funny little pulls and make a video out of it, and you guys can hang out with me and we can see if I get really sad. So what would make me really sad spending these 94 gacha tickets? Well, there's a guy on here that if we get, it's an actual travesty. If we get Ikkaku, we riot. Can we all agree on that? There's no world where I want an Ikkaku right now. So who would I be looking for? I actually think that every single character, given that we're getting an SSR selector, is very useful here, because I have a Yoruichi who has a boundary level 1 from the initial standard pulls. If I were to get her level 2, her lightning seal stacks go up. If I then get her level 3, I could get levels for with the guaranteed selector tickets, right? So this just creates a really strong possible Yoruichi, especially as a free-to-play player. Otherwise, the first dupe of any of the other standard characters is actually pretty good, especially Tosen. If I get Tosen dupes, this character gets really, really crazy. And as I speculate, I think that Tosen is some ways away from actually getting a replacement. I think we're going to be getting a strike tactics replacement and a slash tactics replacement long before we get a thrust tactics replacement. That is my assumption. I think Tosen is far and away the best standard banner unit that isn't named Yodahara, because Yodahara is a GOAT. If I get Yodahara, by the way, let me actually go back in here. That means I can use his dupe, or the selector dupe, to get this, which is a 15% damage increase, which is very, very good, right? So we'll see, man. I figured, why not make this content? This is like, not a bad use of my resources. It means it's a pretty fun video, and you get to see me be really, really sad if I do end up hitting Ikkaku. Ikkaku would be an absolute nightmare. There's no upside to Ikkaku. One of the reasons I think there's actually a pretty good upside to Yoruichi is I think that Soifon will not actually be a DPS character. I think she'll either be a tactics character or a support character for Yoruichi. And by being that, I sort of suspect that Yoruichi will get buffed that same patch. I could definitely see that. So Yoruichi buff, or maybe she gets an exclusive passive like Yachiru has with Kenpachi. I could see that too. So one of the reasons I'm sort of hedging Yoruichi is if I get more and more, if I get, things like Lightning Seal. Where's Lightning Seal at? It's one of these passives. Maybe it's this. I don't know. It's one of her passives, but all this to say is that if I get the actual passives raised by her boundary, then she gets buffed in the future. She could be pretty great, so let's get into this. I think it'd be pretty cool. We're probably just going to skip through if we don't get anything crazy. Okay. What do we get? We got some stamps. But yeah, I thought this would be fun little content because, people like seeing summons, and I like doing summons. Gacha is inherently about the pulls. So why not? Okay. Not getting literally anything so far. That's pretty cool. That's a... Whoa. Okay, so I want to take a stop here for a second. That's really good, because my Momo... If you weren't here for the Momo patch, like you weren't here for the Toshido release, then we didn't actually get, like, Momo dupes for free like we did with Rangiku. So this is actually really good if I could hit more Momo dupes. I never even thought about that. So let's go back in. And SSR would be pretty cool. Nope. Momo dupes. I'm like actually dreading getting closer to 80, because what if it is actually Ikkaku, dude? That's a nightmare situation. That is actually a complete nightmare. We're getting pretty close now, so we're almost wrapped up here with our actual pulls. But yeah, I do think that the standard banner has some pretty good value. Auto converted, yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's completely duped out. Another thing that the standard value kind of has, and this is like something I haven't really mentioned, is that if you go to the advanced ticket stub exchange, I don't really see any use in buying these, but the standard value does contribute to you getting, you know, tickets here. I will say, by the way, that if you haven't done this, I think you could argue that every time you get 10 of these pulls, you could just dump it into this banner. Because if you luckily pull a Kenpachi, then you have a dupe 1 Kenpachi, which is really good. If you don't, the pity carries over, so I'd be at 18 going into the next banner. And tickets are going to come and go, whereas your Jade is a more finite resource that can be spent on multiple things. I say this all the time, so, you know, not to hold up here, but here we're going to get our guarantee here. If this is a Ikkaku we fucking Riot, I'm actually going to be so, like, pressed. Low-key ski, like, if please just don't. Ikkaku is the okay, we got a Byakuya. So one reason this is kind of unfortunate is that Nell is probably going to replace this character, but it is cool to get a Byakuya for now. I mean, we have a few weeks of playing with Byakuya before that becomes a thing. Also, we don't know if this character get buffed in the future, so why not? We're gonna go slow just in case we pull anything else. But I mean, Byakuya is not terrible, certainly. And I don't know, depending on how good or bad Nell is, or, you know, how good or great Nell is, I should say, maybe Byakuya is a character I'll want to continue to use. He does have this bit of bonus, but this is the other thing you would want, is that the Termination is a really powerful buff, right? But he is sort of he is a very selfish support, so I don't know if I'd actually want to use that, but let's go one more, and then we're out of here. Anything? Oh, double. Just not Ikkaku, please. Actually, please, no. Please, no. Please, no Ikkaku. I'm so scared. Please, no yellow. Okay. Oh my god. Oh, that's really good. That's actually really good. Okay. So we'll skip that. That's really good though. You want to rate the game? Please don't ever talk to me. Google, don't you fucking dare. We'll do one more thing, which is we'll go here and we'll grab 2 tickets. Oh, look at that. By the end of that, we got 8 more tickets for free ski. So we'll grab 2 tickets here. We don't need to spend any more. We'll wait, because if we end up pulling on Nell and then we pull her really early, we don't want to dump this into these gacha tickets, right? Because we might want to, use that for the weapon. So let's just put it in here. If we get this, if we pulled this, that'd be fucking insane. I would love that. Okay, that's fine. And we got more tickets converted. Nice. Unless 7. Okay, no, we're not doing that. We could do it. Let's do it for the weapon too, because the weapon is really good to get dupes in. So let's actually let's do it for the weapon too. Why not? It leaves us with 5 free tickets essentially to spend on whatever we want. So this would be a pretty crazy one as well, because this is like the most important thing. Okay, that's fine. We got another Yachiru stamp. So that was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. So let's recap here. We got a boundary here. So this makes it way less cumbersome to get into ultimate and actually start spending the spiritual pressure attack with Byakuya, which means he's far less greedy. This is pretty important. And more importantly though, is shielded characters now have 40% more critical damage. That is actually a fucking insane boundary. I'm not gonna lie. This is a crazy boundary to just have for free. And what this means now is that when the selector comes around, I'm more inclined to maybe grab a Tosen dupe. Tosen dupe is really good. Maybe grab a Kisuke dupe. Kisuke dupe is really good. The only issue is that I don't think the Kisuke dupe, maybe someone can tell me in the comments, the Kisuke 1 dupe doesn't do anything for his team, right? It's a selfish one. Am I crazy? Oh, I forgot I leveled this guy up. I should actually increase his his abilities. But does he give his... I don't think he does anywhere. So yeah, I do think that Kisuke's Dupe 1 is less impactful than Kisuke Dupe 2, which is fucking crazy support. Which makes sense. I mean, he's literally the best, so that is what it is. But yeah, there goes my there goes my tickets. We now have 18 spent here. We have 17 spent here, and we're back to essentially 0 pulls on either of these. I could go weapon. It's not that important if I'm honest. Like, dupes of these weapons aren't crazy, though I guess they could end up being bonuses. Like, and that one could be good. I'm gonna look through here real quick. Like, that's flat damage. That could be good. What is this? Is this a support of any kind? Is this special attack? Increase special attack? No, it's not. That's not good enough. I don't think any of these reduced by an extra 20% is actually really fucking good. You know what? Let's go for our girl. Let's just see what we get. Probably nothing. We'll just, you know, end off here. Yeah, there we go. So there's our dupes in summation. We'll continue to level up the characters here. We got another weapon dupe here. That's pretty nice. Nemu, I wish you were a little better. Nemu might be a character who we see get the Yachiru buff, which would be pretty cool. Like, if she gets the not Yachiru buff, which means that she directly buffs Mayuri when he comes out, I think that'd be pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie, like that'd be pretty fun. That would be a very fun. That'd be a very fun buff to actually have for a character who I think is cool. I think Nemu has a really cool and very unique like gameplay loop, but she just is an SR. She doesn't do enough damage. So yeah, there's that video though. Hope that was a little fun. We did end up scoring 2 dupes in total, which is way more than I thought we'd get, as well as we've primed our next SSR banner. But this one is really good. This one is actually great. So both of these characters getting a huge facelift. I'll have to actually commit more gear to them. I gotta stop fucking around. I gotta actually give them some gear, maybe. I mean, I definitely gotta give this guy gear. He's gonna be around for a bit longer. Alright. Well, they're the pulls. Hope you enjoyed. Like if you liked the video, subscribe to the club. We gonna make it, and peace.